Y'all are not gonna believe this. I had a lady message me this morning and she said, hey, I've got a swarm in my backyard. And she said, what can I do? Of course, my immediate response is, well, catch it. She didn't have any of the stuff to catch it with. She didn't have any spare boxes or anything. And so I said, well, I don't know if it's worth it for me to come chase after a swarm. Just one. She says, well, there's actually two. Now, the other one's way high up in the tree. I'll show it to you in a second. Way high up. Probably can't really get to it feasibly. I'm gonna try just for a little while. I've got my rope saw and a rope. We'll see what we can do. I'm not real optimistic. Then I'm loading up the truck to come here. She sends me a text and says, there's three. There's another one in my neighbor's tree. So, I mean, this is like a dream. I'm not kidding. This is legitimately, I've had dreams about this. I've had dreams that I just look around and just see swarms everywhere. And here I am, walking into this lady's backyard, and within 100 feet of each other, all three of them. It's like the Bermuda Triangle. This doesn't really exist. So, I'm getting the smoker lit. I've got my little girls here for helpers today. They're gonna ride along. I'm gonna show you guys the swarms in just a little bit, and we're gonna see if we can't get some fun video footage. See if we can't catch us some swarms today. So here's the first one we're gonna go after. This one's easy pickings. We're gonna set the box right here underneath of it and just knock them in. It's about maybe a 2-pound swarm. It's an easy one. Next one, right up here in this little tree. We'll have to see if somebody's got an extension ladder. Otherwise, I might be able to climb that tree, but that or I'll try to hoist a box up there on a rope and see if we can shake them, see if we can jar it with a rope and get them to knock into that box. The third one is up here in the top of that little water oak, and I'm not sure if we'll be able to get to it or not. It's just there's a lot of lower limbs and twigs and stuff, but we're gonna get these first two. We're gonna go after these first two, and then we'll see if we've got time or if we think we can get to that third one or not. So anyway, just show you all three. We're getting set up on this one right now once I get the smoker going, and we'll knock them in. Okay, so swarm number one is settling on the box. We've dug through the box twice now. That's swarm number one over there, by the way. Dug through the box twice now, still haven't found a queen. Got up into this one, got set up on it, climbed up there, and right away I saw a queen crawling on the outside of the cluster. I grabbed her, I had my gloves on like a dummy, and I carried her all the way down to the ground and went to try to put her in a cage, and she flew off my glove. So I get back up there, start working, I see another queen. Maybe it's the same one, I don't know. And then I lost her. So I'm digging through and I was just moving bees into the box with a hand, and then I saw two queens fighting with each other. I'm certain I saw those two queens, likely virgins. Kept working, saw another queen. I managed to catch that one. So I've caught at least one virgin. I feel like I've seen at least three, maybe a mated queen too. So the one virgin that we've caged, she's over here on the box with swarm number one because we're not sure if they have a queen or not. So I'll put her over there just as a tattletale to see what they do. But we're gonna take this one, we're gonna go ahead and lower this box down. We're gonna dig through and see just how many of those queens we can catch and cage. I've got, I think, 4 cages in my pocket. Be something if we had to use them all. Okay, so where are we at today? Yesterday we got cut off a little early on the swarm captures. Typically what happens, I don't have time to fool around with the camera. And my phone battery is going dead. But anyway, today we got back last night. We ended up with 3 queens in cages. They may all be virgins. I really don't think they're all 3 mated. Maybe one of them looked a little bigger than a virgin to me. They may all 3 be virgins. To have 3 queens in one swarm, you'd almost think they have to all be virgins. I haven't even gotten in the boxes yet to see if they're still alive, but we ended up with 3 caged queens, so we ended up with 3 nucs, basically. The white one was the first one we caught off the bush. The green box was the second box that we had hoisted up in the tree, and I was working on that one, and that's when I found the 3rd queen. And so luckily the homeowner, she's also a beekeeper, she had a spare little corrugated plastic box right there on the rail. So she had a spare little nuc box. She just didn't have any frames or anything. So we grabbed that. So we made up 3. I'm getting them set up right now today. Let me get them kind of organized, these 10 frame boxes. I'm thinking, I'm gonna see how many bees are on the inside. I may convert those over to 5 frames like I prefer to do for nucs. But let me get them set up here, and then I'll give you a summary in the end, what we got with everything. Okay, so here's the results. 2 out of 3, all 3 hives still had good bee population in them, so I think they're gonna go. They're gonna be fine. One of them had, the queen was dead in the cage, and I remember yesterday, I may have mentioned, I don't know on the video, but yesterday when I caught one of the queens, I said, you know, she's looking awful weak, like she was already kind of laid over. She was still crawling around, but she wasn't as energetic and as she should have been for a queen. She was real sluggish, so I think she'd already lost a fight, basically. So one of the queens was dead in the cage, but I think she was a virgin queen anyway. So for that hive, we got a frame of brood with eggs from another hive. We'll give them a chance to raise a new queen. I don't have any spare queens right this second. The other 2, the queens were both still looking good. The bees were receptive of the queens, crawling all over the cage, happy to have them. Both those 2 hives, I also set them up with a frame of brood. It just helps to home the bees. I guess I'm gonna turn and show you guys the bees. You set them up with a frame of brood. It just helps to, you know, lock them down and make them want to stay, especially when they've got a virgin queen like that and they're in a new box. All the 2 virgin queens have candy plugs. They'll chew their way out in a couple days, fly out, get mated, and life goes on. So yesterday's efforts, I mean, if all 3 of these nucs make it, which I think 2 out of 3 for sure will, but if all 3 make it, that's basically 3 packages of bees. So $300, and I spent all in 4 hours to go get them and fetch them. So, you know, that's worth it. Not to get off topic, but, you know, people question, is it worth it to remove bees to get the bees? You got to be fast. You got to be really fast, because I can get on the computer and I can click, 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 and I can get, you know, packages like crazy. So that's fast, you know, but it costs money. So you got to be fast if you're going to do removals or catch swarms. It's got to be fast. If you spend all day trying to catch one little swarm, it's not going to work. So that's really, you know, that's the only reason I really went after these, was because there was potential for at least 2. And then when she texted me and said, no, there's 3, I was like, okay, now I got to go. There's good hope here. So anyway, I think we're going to keep all 3. So I think we did well there.